Hello ladies and gentlemen, Rapid Chess here. I decided to make another video on Carlsen's match yesterday. So Duda made an excellent comeback and made it to the tiebreaks where he lost. And I want to show you a game between game number 2 where he lost the first one with white pieces, so it was for him mandatory to win, and he was playing black, and Ben Fangel would have said that why he won, because he played black. So e4, Magnus's favorite move, and c6, which becomes more and more popular. It doesn't lead to this standard positions, and it can turn to a game where no so much theory. And 3d5 and d3. So this is kind of very rare move, very rare idea. Magnus needs a draw, and he doesn't want to play any long lines. And g6 and d4. So at this point I think white should be better. They forced black to play g6, and kind of bishop g7 is for everyone, 99% of chess players, it's totally fine move, but for this caliber players it might be enough to have very like comfortable edge, yeah, let's say, because this just bishop will look at this pawn on d4, and white will play c3 and have some kind of advantage. h3, I like it, not allowing bishop to g4. This is my kind of move. When the position is closed in the center, yeah, you can afford to play h3, and also g6 is like a loss of tempo, so white can do that. And bishop h6, so this is a very unusual play by young Shistov. Engine says that bishop g7 was better, but somehow he decides, to exchange these bishops, and maybe not to allow this passive position with bishop on g7. Bishop d7. a6 and bishop e2. Again, many of you guys would would take this bishop here, this knight here, because you invested in this bishop b5. But again, the position is closed, and these grandmasters, they're very concerned about spending tempos on something, but when the position is closed, they can afford to, return the bishop. And bishop e2, I like this move. Bishop d3 is a bit worse, because black played g6, and they kind of limit this bishop on this diagonal. So bishop e2 is very good. c3, rook e1. Notice that no one wants to blink. Yeah. You don't want to capture and develop your opponent's pieces, and black also doesn't want to play bishop takes on c1, because then kind of this queen is considered that it is already developed on c1, and on d1 it's kind of not developed. And so black will spend 2 tempi with bishop and white none, so white will have some kind of development advantage. e6 move I don't really like that much, because of this bishop getting trapped, but again, black is trying to make white capture the bishop and see what the plan is. Knight to d2 and bishop to g7. Again, ancients suggested that taking would be better, but I think Duda was thinking that he doesn't want to leave these dark squares without extra protection. Castles, bishop to d3, opening up the rook here. rook c to d8 is the best move by Engine, and maybe you want to play bishop c8, 7 this bishop, so he takes. The position now is very standard for Caro-Kann, and some positions of London system can be transposed into something like this. I like black's position actually, and Engine gives it white the full point. But I don't agree to this. I think black should be doing very well. Recently I've heard that Grandmaster Turov, who plays Caro-Kann defense all his life, in his interview he said that, well, Engine really doesn't like Caro-Kann, yeah, but even if white has a good advantage according to Engine, still black is doing okay. So I have feeling that black is doing very well. h4. Engine plays again like this all the time. He just wants to play h5 and creates a lot of weaknesses, but it weakens white's position as well. And e5. So black wants to open up the position in the center because they are basically developed. Engine suggests that e5 is the best move here. I would probably do something like knight to b6. Knight is just to bring pieces closer to center, but probably black had you don't have too much time when you play Magnus Carlsen to play to break through, yeah, and it's very important not to allow your opponent to squeeze you. Queen d1. You cannot really win this piece, yeah, because if queen takes, then this knight defends it. So he plays queen d1. Again, this position looks better for me from the black's perspective. Yeah, white doesn't have this connection between rooks, and this bishop kind of not developed yet. And still, Engine gives big advantage to whites. So they exchanged bishop e3, blocking this file. Knight to e4, very logical. Rook to d7, and notice that black only needs a win. Yeah, they get this position where black can actually claim that they're playing for a win as well. They create a lot of threats with the knights, and Magnus is winning. Won the first game with black, so draw is not an option. f5. Engine said that it's fine, but for me it weakens just too much the king side. I would, I think, play knight to c6 and try to play d4 at some point, yeah, but f5 is a good move as well. Queen b6. They say that Magnus became world champion with these queen exchanges. Yeah, Engine suggests that white should keep the queens on board, but when you have two knights, you just normally want to exchange the queens. Taking would be better, but he played here. I don't know, it's 1 point and Engine gives 2 question marks, so black's move, it's not that bad, it's just equal. Magnus went for this bishop takes a6, so with the idea to capture on c6, winning the pawn. Rook to d6. Now different jumps of this knight is a threat. Here, and he takes. You cannot capture this queen because Engine doesn't allow me, because this rook is pinned. So he took. Knight f7. Knight f7 was a critical mistake, and Magnus could have won here with f4, but it's really hard to understand that if we play queen to c7, then we capture the rook. So you have to, so the problem is that with this move, queen b8 wins. Yeah, because of this. Bishop to d4, winning everything, and this pin is just deadly. So Magnus didn't spot that, so he played bishop to d4 with the similar idea, but it allowed queen to d6. Later it was so keeping this b8 under control, and rook is also protected. 3. Here queen to e7. I think this position engine says that white is better, but I think it's black skin is a bit suspicious, yeah. But they have this extra piece, and these pawns are really far away. So I'd say that the position is about equal. But of course, black will not take a draw here. So they exchanged. Queen d5, pinning the rook. Takes, a4. Check. Of course, black cannot agree to a draw with repetition. And Duda found out to defend this rook here. Yeah, he needs to free his queen to, you know, create counter chances maybe. Queen a7, attack the f2. And yeah, this move was missed by Magnus. Yeah, this is a threat, and also this pawn is attacked. So he had to give up this very important pawn. And this position is already winning for black. So let's see how it ended. Knight goes to more active square. Very unpleasant that this pawn is here, very close to queening. So he won this pawn. And this is very easy win for black here. If you go here, then you cannot really, yeah, I think this wins very easily. Yeah, just king takes the pawn and wins. All right, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.